So who should specifically be paying extra attention to this issue? I would say vegetarians and vegans because they're not
100%.
going to be getting all these beneficial nutrients from your skins and your broths and your bones and collagen and cartilage and all of that.
100%. Yep. I think that's a really good one out of the gates. And there's some decent marine collagens that are out there. So some vegetarians can kind of work on still doing some fish. So you may want to look at a marine collagen, right? I like the type 1 and 3 collagens the best. So I like my grass-fed, pasture-fed bovine sources like that. I get mine from Argentina. So we go try to in a non-GMO, high quality kind of grass-fed environment to make sure, quality is really high.
But if you're a vegan, then what? I mean, it just sounds like you need to just stop being a vegan.
A lot of vegans or vegetarians can kind of wrap their heads around taking collagen supplementally if it's in an amino acid form, because there's like no flesh, there's no nothing. You really just have the constituent amino acids. It's really in a powder form. But worst case, if let's say a vegan can't wrap their head around that, well, let's get them on a free form amino acid blend that has nothing, that doesn't come from a animal source. Maybe throw in some extra glycine that's already been extracted from a free form source. Maybe that's a good buy-in out of the gates. And then if we can add in some collagen, great. But if we can't, that's at least a good first step. My whole thing is like, I'm all about helping you where you're at. And so if this is where you're at, fine. I always like to tell people, if you're eating a diet because you're afraid that it's affecting the environment, maybe you want to get a little bit more educated on that, because my whole thing is one of the worst things for the environment is going to be monoculture and spraying lots of pesticides on the soil. That's far more dangerous to the environment than having, my family may need to survive on 1 cow a year, right? So if my family is a net death per family ratio, it's like 1 death per family on the beef side per year, right? So you don't need a lot if you can actually raise a healthy animal and then kill that animal and save it, cryovac it, freeze it. You can really provide a lot of nutrition per death, if you will. Where on the monoculture side with a lot of soy and wheat and grains, people don't understand there's all kinds of critters that get caught in those combines when you harvest wheat and grains and soy. Tons, rabbits, chipmunks, snakes, lots of amphibians, those kind of things get chopped up in it as well.
Yeah. You'd probably get, don't quote me on this, but it might be like a sugarcane source, some of the more like lab made type glycines. If you're not going to do like a collagen, it might be like a sugarcane based glycine.
Yes.
It tastes pretty sweet. The one that I do, it almost tastes like sugar. So I'm guessing it's like a sugarcane based one.
Yep. A lot of times they extract it and they ferment it and such. So it's, you can do a good free form amino acid formula where if you're not open to changing your thinking on that, that's at least a good in between negotiation.
Okay, cool.